Speed.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Droid Life Show today, episode 198. It is Friday, March 15th. I'm your host, Kellen. With me, Tim. Yeah, you are that way. Tim, say hi.
Hey guys, how's it going? Tim here.
So thanks for joining us on this fine Friday. We've got a pretty good show ahead. Number one, Galaxy S10 review week for us. So my E review's up. Tim's Plus review is also up. Both reviews. We actually told you guys that we were going to try to have them done by this week, and this might be one of the first times actually delivered on that. Just throwing that out there. So we'll talk about Plus E, if you guys should buy them, if we like them. It's just some general thoughts there. Also a big week because Android Q beta, first beta dropped, and that's well, I don't want to poo-poo on the Q beta, but
You're kind of a poo-poo.
Oh my god, it's so boring. But we will talk about Android Q beta or Android 9.1, whatever you want to call it.
10.0.
There's some other Google stuff to talk about, including Allo, our favorite chat app of all time. Verizon launched their 5G. We're going to talk about that red Hydrogen 1 phone again.
No, do we have to?
And you know, yeah, but this will be fun.
I still got that thing, right?
Do you
right
really?
here on the old
Oh my
desk.
god, there it is.
Yeah, it takes up my whole face.
I was going to say it's still bigger than your head.
Oh, it's...
And Trivia is back. So Trivia back once again. This week, we're giving away these guys right here. Anyone know what those are? OnePlus Bullets Wireless. We actually have 5 of them. In fact, you can... Which hand? Let's see that little stack of boxers right there? Yeah. We got 5 of them. So everybody who wins in Trivia this week, 5 winners are getting Bullets Wireless. Before we get going, though, we got a bunch of donations already in the chat. So PC747 dropped a $20 dono to begin the show. Actually, like well before we started the show, and said, keep these shows coming. Appreciate that so much. PC747, you're a beast. Alex dropped $2. Patrick just dropped $2. There's donations flowing at the moment. We really appreciate that.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, a guy in the chat says Kellen must stop breaking his phone. So I did indeed break a Galaxy S10e already.
And not out of frustration.
No. I don't know if it'll pick that up. Okay. Oh, yeah, it picked it up.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
See those veins.
It's like a double break, too. I don't know how that... It must have like hit one corner and then landed on the other. Something.
Hulk smash.
Good times, though. Day 4 broke that thing. So, anyways, yeah, if you're new to the show, though, trivia, end of the show is when we do that. So we do 5 questions, give people prizes, that sort of thing. But we'll start with topics first. So, S10 Plus, S10e reviews done. Do we have a verdict on what we think about the Galaxy S10 family?
Really good family. You know, they're nice, quiet. They live up the street from me. They're nice people. For me personally, of course, I was using the Galaxy S10 Plus, and this thing is it's a really nice phone. I've actually been using it in a case, so I don't do what you did. Really nice case. I'm about to go on vacation, but once I get back, I plan on doing a massive case overview, accessory overview for these phones, and so I highly recommend these cases. This one is from Crucial, Krusell.
Is it felt? What the hell is that?
Yeah, it's like a
suede.
Yeah, it's like a suede.
It's
nice. Leather. Oh, it's super premium. It's very thin, so it doesn't like add a lot of bulk to the phone. Oh, yeah. Very nice. Doesn't make it slip around on the tables. Anyway, back to the phone. Wow, gorgeous display. Really good cameras in the right settings, in the right circumstances. The battery life was good, 4100 milliamp hour. It was getting me through my kind of typical day, and that's all I've ever really asked from a phone. Don't necessarily need it to last 2 days or anything when I'm out on the job site or anything like that. So, I remapped. I guess you could say I remapped, but I added a new Google Assistant shortcut to the Bixby button, so the Bixby hardware key wasn't really annoying me as much. I was doing that with an app called Bix Assist. Other than that, I mean, it's got a headphone jack. The display is awesome. The camera's really good. The software, One UI on top of Android Pie. I mean, talk about a major improvement from what Samsung has delivered in the past with software. This is it's like a grade A device. Am I going to switch off of the Pixel? Yeah. because now that we know what Android Q is, just being Android 9.0.0.0.1, at least for now, this first beta release.
The first version,
there's nothing really exciting to like, oh, I got to switch to Android Q right now.
Yeah.
So until something happens with Android Q, I'm just going to stick with the S10 Plus. Really liking this phone. Of course, I think I went with the right choice on that white ceramic model. It's nice and heavy, 8 gigs RAM, 512 gigs of storage. I mean, I downloaded tons of games and all that, and I'm like, I still have so much room. I don't know what to do with it all. So I might have to just start downloading like the entire library of Prawn Hub and just keep myself busy. Yeah. It's a site for shellfish.
And anything like people should be concerned about with the 10 Plus? I mean, you mentioned in your review, like camera, you weren't blown away, pissed you off, and low light. You took an amazing selfie with it, a groovy.
Yeah, so, in certain lighting instances, especially the nighttime. So, I mean, Google, like we've already said, has just completely changed the game in terms of mobile photography in a night setting. You can actually shoot in the dark. And there's just no, there's no comparison to that, at least right now. And I thought Samsung might try and do the same. Reports leading up to these phones, the phone launches, were saying, oh, yeah, Samsung's got like a mode to compete with Google's night sight. So I was like, all right, cool, no big deal. This phone starts at $999. And so it's more expensive than a Pixel 3 XL. It has
like 6 cameras.
It's got 5 cameras in total. Only one of them is a depth sensing camera, so maybe 4 cameras in total. Anyway, it does not have a dedicated night shooting mode. It has scene optimizer, which needs to be enabled. It's not a standalone mode.
Right.
And what it does, it does a lot of what Google's Night Sight does, where it captures multiple images. However, the post-processing for it in the software is just not as good as Night Sight on the Pixel 3 and the 3 XL. So, it doesn't quite compare to the Pixel. And, when you're looking at shots side by side, say just a regular kind of day shot, both cameras are very good. This phone, it has a really good camera, as long as you're in that right environment, whereas the Pixel just allows you to be more comfortable shooting in other types of settings, in a darker setting in particular. So there is that. And then, of course, the major one, which people still think that I'm weird for talking about in my reviews, would be updates. Galaxy S9, Note 9, they're just now getting Pi, whereas the Pixels are now getting Android Q. So, it is something to keep talking about. Whether you think it's a big deal, it's entirely up to you. It's a very personal thing. If you want to have the latest and greatest version of Android, which you and I, of course, want to because it's sort of what we do,
right,
then it's important. Other people, maybe they don't care so much for monthly security updates and all that, but I think it's important. I think it's still something to keep in consideration. So it's something you just keep hammering Samsung about. And other than that, besides the few camera flaws, oh man, that selfie you brought up, that groovy, totally unusable. I would never post that to social media.
For those who don't know what we're talking about, in Tim's review, he posted this like group selfie of him with some friends and stuff at like a birthday party or something. You must have been in a restaurant or a bar. I'm not really sure. And like the processing on this, it's so awful. It's one of the worst group selfies just because of like, there's like no focus. Everyone's just like smeared out. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's not great. The whole family looks ugly, and it is what it is. So my brother brought a Pixel 2 to dinner. Of course, I've talked him up about Pixels and stuff. So I got most of the family on Pixels, and he brought a Pixel 2 to dinner. I was like, oh, dude, like new S10, it's got dual front-facing cameras. I bet this thing's gonna take an awesome groovy. So like we all get back, and I'm like holding it out and stuff. I extend it so it gets that wide angle, and the photo just looks terrible.
It's so bad.
And I was like, oh man, never mind. Can we try your Pixel and see how it does? He pulls out the Pixel. It's like perfect, like great lighting, crispness, and it was sort of a dark setting too in this restaurant. But either way, the Pixel just killed it. So, so selfies not great, low light shooting not great, and it's not going to have the greatest updates. Samsung has been improving upon that, so maybe it'll get better. But right now, if you care the most about cameras and updates, it's not a bad idea maybe to check out a Pixel. Everything else, hardware, display, daytime shooting with the camera, software is pretty awesome. That ultrasonic fingerprint reader. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff. With this phone.
Okay, so you like the ultrasonic fingerprint reader, just confirming.
Yeah, confirming.
Some people don't. I think
yeah,
some people
I
don't.
wiped mine after, that update came. I wiped it and I re-entered my thumb.
Okay.
And it seems to be much quicker,
Okay.
much more accurate in recognizing.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Dope. So you're sticking with it.
Sticking with it.
Yeah, so I'm on the S10e review done as well. I think I'm probably going to stick with it. I'm not the Pixel 3 is looking at me right now from its Pixel stand, from its $80 Pixel stand or however much that stupid thing costs. And it's running Android Q. And for the first time in a number of years, I'm not going, well, I got to drop whatever and use the new version of Android because, as you mentioned, Q is version 9.0.0.0.0.0.0.1. And the Galaxy S10e, it has a lot going for it. I really like this phone. I think we kind of feel similar about S10 Plus, S10e. Samsung made, and as everyone knows, we're sometimes critical of Samsung. And this time I don't really have much to complain about. I like the software. And we talked about One UI when it first dropped as a beta or whatever last year, right? And we put it on S9 and all that. One UI is pretty great. I mean, it's Samsung's best software by a mile. It's not even close, right? It's Samsung's best software. So you've got that experience. As far as the E goes, size-wise, I posted a picture today on Twitter of it sitting next to the Essential phone. And we talked for months and months about how the Essential phone was the best feeling phone in hand, mostly because of the size. It's the S10e is the exact same size as that, except it has a bigger display. So you get even more display on it. It's just got all the specs you need, like the ultrasonic thing. I don't care that the S10e doesn't have that. It has it in the power button. I found the camera to be pretty solid. I took some low light shots that I thought actually turned out pretty well. So I think I was slightly more impressed with the camera than you were. I don't have the telephoto though on this thing like you do on the Plus, but back when what was one of the first Note phones was one of the first phones to have a telephoto, I think. Was it the Note 8? Is that the one that had the telephoto?
I think so, but
and I didn't use it. During my review, I was forcing myself to try to use the telephoto because I just don't. I don't know. Telephoto cameras on smartphones usually never something to be impressed by. So I didn't miss that. But so I thought the camera in general was really good. Performance has been good. It's got a headphone jack if you care. It's got all the speakers. The 1080p display on it is totally fine. It's a Samsung AMOLED and it's 1080p, and I'm fine with that. It looks great. I use a Pixel 3, which is 1080p. Before that, I was using a 6T, which is 1080p. The drop from Quad HD to 1080p, I don't really care. I'm the guy that picks smaller phones, which often have 1080p displays, so that doesn't really matter to me. Yeah, I think I really like this phone. Couple of complaints. The fingerprint sensor and the power button, right? The power button's just way too far up the side, and I think it's the same on your S10 Plus, right? You fortunately probably don't have to use it that often, but
nope.
I don't know what the hell Samsung was doing, but all the power buttons, I mean, you can see it's way up here. I don't know what's doing up there. It's way too stupidly high. So that's a little bit of a complaint. That was my biggest complaint. I talked a little bit in my review about how I didn't look at Bixby hardly for 2 seconds, and I hope no one gets too mad about that. But I'm not going to really apologize because I just don't have any time to learn or use Bixby much, and maybe that's just me being too stubborn and old or something. But I just don't care. Google Assistant does what I need it to do. I don't need to try to adopt a whole new assistant to see if it's really good. I'm satisfied with where I'm at. So, anyways. Bixby sucks. My other complaint then is a complaint that I've had for a couple of years now. And yeah, I dropped this thing. I don't put cases on phones. I just don't. I mean, I've been using one on this so that I don't cut my fingers every time I use this. But yeah, I dropped it. There's glass. I think glass all over the backs of phones is stupid. I've written pieces on this. And yeah, I just put case on it, Kellen. Your expensive phone. You should put a case on it. No. Samsung didn't design this phone all this prettiness and the pink color and all this stuff for you to cover it up with a stupid case. I'm sorry, it's stupid. It's dumb. It's dumb.
Yeah, you broke it to teach them a lesson.
That's right. I break these to teach them a lesson. So yeah, I'll probably stick with this. I'm gonna get that fixed. Like iFix is already fixing these phones. Actually, I scheduled one in Portland and they don't have this damn color, so I have to wait like a week now. I thought I was gonna do it tomorrow. They don't have the pink yet anyway. So you can get it fixed. It's gonna cost me like $80 already, which sucks.
That's not bad though.
It's not terrible. Like the front display is a couple hundred. The back, because it's just a piece of glass, they're still charging like $80 for it, which is brutal.
That's kind of ridiculous.
It is kind of ridiculous. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised to say that I'm probably going to use this phone. Like this is going to be my phone for a while. Again, the Pixel 3 is there with Android Q, and we'll talk more about Android Q, but so far there's not a lot drawing me there. Like I'm still in, like the honeymoon phase with this little guy. It's a great little phone. And at $750, mentioned this in the review too, like specs wise, it doesn't match your phone, the S10 Plus or the S10 even. It's missing some stuff. But compared to the Pixel 3, so it's $50 cheaper than the Pixel 3, this thing is. And it has a headphone jack. It has more RAM. It has more storage. It has an extra camera if you really care about that. It has a bigger battery. It has the new Snapdragon processor. It does reverse wireless charging. There's no there's not a proprietary wireless charging solution like Google put in it. Like it has a bigger display. So they upgraded this thing way over the Pixel 3 and it's $50 less. So I think it's a great buy for a lot of people. I think it's a great little phone. I think Samsung did great. And there's no curved display on it, which of course I appreciate. So
dang.
Yeah. I think Samsung did a really good job with the S10 line. I don't really have any complaints. I will say that I kind of want to get a regular S10 in my hands just for a few minutes to see if I would like, because I want to find this, like I have an S10 Plus sitting here and the thing is way too huge. I don't know how it's so freaking, I don't know how anyone would want to use that on a daily basis, but I would like to get a regular S10 to see if it's a nice balance between this and the Plus. I think it's also quite large, but otherwise, yeah, the E is, it's a great little phone. Good job, Samsung.
Good job, Samsung. Real quick, Robert Merrill in the chat, as well as Justin Rowe.
Oh, yes.
Thank you for the $1 donations. We greatly appreciate.
Robert and Justin, thanks for the dollars.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. I just thought I saw something else in the chat.
A lot of questions, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, Bill mentioned Nova. So yeah, today when I posted the review, the first thing I did was put Nova Launcher on it. So when we review phones, we use like whatever the setup is out of the box. So Tim and I both, unfortunately, been stuck with Samsung's launcher and that whole setup. But no, that's gone now. That's gone. Nova Launcher there with the setup I prefer. And yeah, it's very exciting. I can actually make the phone my own now instead of in review mode. I don't have to like test battery every day. Oh, that was one of the complaints. Battery life. That was one of the sore points. And people have been asking me this for like 2 weeks. How's the battery life, Kellen? 3100 milliamp hour battery in this thing. It's okay. Battery life on the S10e is not impressive. On heavy days, I was like at 9 o'clock, I had like 15% left. Like we're talking like that's, and if you stay up till 11 o'clock at night like I do, like that's not going to get you through the night barely. So if you're a heavy user, I would say before you leave work, throw it on the charger for like 20 minutes and get like another 30% battery or whatever. That should get you through the day. But if you were hoping the Galaxy S10e was going to get you through to the next day, I just don't really think that's going to happen. I mean, maybe somebody else's battery life will be different than mine, but I was using an international Exynos powered S10e and its battery life was really bad. And then the US unlocked one, which is what I just reviewed, its battery life was much better, but still I wasn't super impressed. So there you have
it.
Dang. Bradley says, have you guys used the Galaxy Buds? Oh, these guys? Oh, these guys. Yeah. Yeah, I have used them. They're really great.
Really like them.
Yeah, we don't often do headphone reviews. We may review these. I don't know. They're really nice though. At $130. What's crazy is the Gear Icon X Buds or whatever, the 2018 version. I think you can still buy those, and I think they're more expensive than these.
Oh, wow.
And those are like not good at all, right?
Yeah, I used them for like a week and they were pretty terrible.
Yeah.
The battery life was just trash.
These are great. These are great. They're really comfortable. The actual sound that comes out of them is better than the other true wireless buds I've used. So that works for me.
There's so many true wireless buds now.
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
It is kind of ridiculous. But these are solid. I mean, I would totally recommend these. At $130, that doesn't seem like a terrible price, but
No.
So yeah, Galaxy S10 Plus E. I think we like them. I think we like them quite a bit, actually.
I'd say so.
I think I'm going to stick with this guy for quite once I fix the back glass, of course.
Yeah, that truckload of money Samsung gave us definitely helps in liking them, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's all it takes, Sam. I mean, now they know. They just got to give us a whole ton of money. And then we're like, we love your phones.
It's pretty easy.
I hope you guys all know we're actually joking about that. But they actually don't like us at all. What sucks, though, is I need to find a case. Like, this is what I've had to use on this thing.
Just so you don't cut yourself and die.
Yes, I don't
bleed
cut
out.
myself. This case looked okay on the yellow one because the other phone was yellow too.
Yellow? That
but
looks
like
terrible.
on this, I don't even know. Yeah, it looks really bad. But this is like the only case I have. I'm not really sure what to do. I mean, I think I have a box from Spigen behind me or something. I should dive in there and see if there's anything good. But
oh yeah,
yeah, not great there. Do the buds work with all Android phones? Yep, they sure do. I use these with the Pixel 3 because when we first got these, I didn't have an S10. So you get a slightly improved experience. No, it's about the same experience. You just install the Galaxy wearable app.
And then the plug-in for the buds.
Yes, there's like 17 plugins for every Samsung accessory. Yeah, they work with every Android phone. Somebody mentioned, Nick mentioned the Jabra Elite Active 65 tease. I've seen a ton of people talk about those. I've never used them. So, I mean, since we don't do a lot of headphone reviews, I haven't like picked up every single headphone, but I've heard those are really good. Everyone seems to talk about them. I have no idea. Of the ones I've tried, these are my favorite so far. So
they're good little buds.
They're good little buds.
I use them every day.
Oh, you do? Great.
Oh, yeah.
I did just try to connect into my computer before the show, though, and could not get that to happen. That's probably user error, though. Don't blame the buds for that one.
It's probably Mac Pro error.
Could be Mac Pro error. Ancient Mac Pro error, yes.
Yeah.
Frank with the $5. Frank George dropped $5. You guys with the donos this week. Appreciate that.
Give you a
really,
little
really
bit.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
Bring it back. Thanks, everybody.
The Pixel 3 XL has become just a soundboard. That's pretty great.
Android Q soundboard.
All right. Anything else to say about the S10s? Both of our reviews are up again. Tim had the Plus review. I had the E review. We've got like 17 videos about the phones in case you want to know software tips and tricks, what you should do with it when you first get it. All that stuff is all posted. For the most part, like our review period for these phones is done. Like we'll still be talking about them plenty. How cute is that?
I know. I have the greatest wallpaper ever.
That's fantastic.
Anyway, yeah.
Nick with the $2. Nick Fisher just dropped $2 as well.
Hey guys,
what are you guys doing today? This is crazy.
We already told you Samsung's got us on lock, dude. Don't trip. We're doing fine.
It's too funny. All right, so yeah, go read those reviews. Dive in. There's more details there on what we like, what we don't like. Brian just drops $5. Brian Ever with $5. I can't even get like a word out without somebody dropping a donation. Appreciate that, Brian. Thanks again, Nick.
Thank you.
You guys are crazy.
Yes, Nick he's preemptively paying for his shipping because he thinks he's going to win trivia today, but we shall see. We got some tough questions today.
Yeah, we do have toughies for these little guys. I've never actually used these. I don't know what Bullets Wireless sound like, if they're comfortable or good, but
if they sound as good as the wired bullets, I'm sure they're pretty good because I like those wired bullets. Yeah. They sound pretty good. Nice kind of deep sound, bassy.
Yeah, they don't fit my ears. I tried to use them. They hurt my ears after like 20 minutes.
You got like narrow canals or what?
I'm not really sure because the Pixel like ones, like these ones, are really comfortable to my ears. My ears like this, like
I hate those.
Yeah, see, and my ears like the like AirPods shape. Like I used to use like Apple earbuds forever because they just fit my ear. So this is like what my ear prefers.
If I use those for more than like 10 minutes, like the inside of my ear just starts aching.
Okay,
and I
so
have to like rip them out.
That's what the OnePlus like USB-C bullets are like. That's what they do to my ears. They just start throbbing on the inside. It's weird.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does kind of suck.
All right.
Anyways, all right. So let's talk Android Q then.
Thank
Android
goodness.
Q. Do you have Q on your Pixel 3 XL?
Of course.
Do, right? Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So Android Q is out. Dropped this
it
week in the first beta. So it didn't actually drop as a developer preview this time around. It's a beta. So if you own a Pixel XL, 2, 2XL, 3, 3XL, any of the Pixel phones, you can actually install Q right now. I have no idea why Google did this, probably because it's the 9.1 update and there's nothing major, but they gave it to everyone. And in the past years, they were like, nah, you got to flash images and it's going to be a pain. And then they would release a beta around Google I/O, and that's when everyone would get it as an over-the-air update. This time they went, nah, you guys can all just have it right now. And it seems pretty stable. When it first dropped, I used it for, probably close to 24 hours. And I didn't really run into any issues. Now I was sitting at home, like doing work and just being normal. Like if I left my house, something would probably break permanently on it or something, because that's just how that works. But so far seems pretty stable. Before I keep going, Alan Meyer just dropped $2 as well. Thank you, Alan. Got that donation flow on this Friday.
These guys.
You guys.
Thank you.
So anyways, if you want to flash Android Q, you can. There's a timeline in terms of rollout for additional betas. So in a couple of weeks, we'll probably get beta 2. Then in May, probably at I/O, we'll get beta 3. Then in June, beta 4. And then as we get closer to whenever they would decide to launch it after June, there's a beta 5, 6, and then the final release. So there's 6 betas this year, which is, I think, one more than normal. And then the final release. They kind of cut their timeline around June and then just branched out into Q3. But in past years, it's always a stable build of whatever the new version of Android is. Usually shows up in August. Patricia with the $1 as well. Patricia with the $1. Thank you, Patricia.
Thanks,
you guys.
So people are asking, how can I block numbers on Pixel 3 XL while running Q? I don't think it's possible.
You mean like call screen, or what do you mean?
They just say, how do you block numbers? And I opened it up. I made sure first, we all know that the phone app is now sort of standalone from the system. Mm-hmm. So I updated the phone app inside of Google Play for Android Q, and there is no option for blocking phone numbers.
What do you mean?
You can so in your call log, I would love to show you my call log, but I refuse to do that. You can just like long press on a number, and typically there'd be like a block number option, and that's not there. And then also in settings, there's no blocked numbers menu.
I mean, like I'm in there as well. I won't show everyone my call. And like there's like my brother right there at the top. He's the last person to call me. If I just tap on his name, it opens this box, and then there's block report spam like right there.
Yeah, not for me.
That's weird. So I mean, I'm running Q as well, and I definitely have that option.
Yeah.
So that's a bug.
That's a bug.
Report it.
We found a bug, guys.
Report it. Yeah, I can definitely block people right now.
Yeah, no blocking for me, and apparently
Do
a
you
lot
have
of
the other options in there, like video call, send message, all that stuff, call details.
Checking.
You know what I'm saying? Like you tap on whoever.
I have send message. Well, now hold up. Okay, hold on, guys. I literally did not have the option, but now I have the option. This is weird.
Boy.
Okay, hold on.
Oh boy.
I'm closing it down, so I closed the app. I'm back into recents. Okay, so yeah, all I did was I updated the app. I force closed, like I just swiped it away. I reopened the app, and now when I tap on those, I have all my options for block, report, spam, etc. So there you go. Case solved.
All right, perfect. Now we fixed that problem.
Thank you for the question, everybody.
All right, so what exactly is new in Android Q? Well, there's support for foldable devices. Although Samsung's going to release the Galaxy Fold, and it's not going to be running Q. So that's something. Let's see. There are new connectivity options where an app can prompt you to like turn on Wi-Fi, and it'll do it in this new UI overview at the bottom of your screen. There's app permission changes where like if an app wants to use your location, it'll pop up and you can say like well, sure, you can do that all the time, or no, only when you're in use. So when an app's running in the background, it won't access your location. That's actually a pretty big deal. I do like that one. What else?
That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, like the big things are those were kind of what they announced, right? Like that was like the big stuff was like new permissions changes. Google said there's like a focus on security and privacy, which I totally get. That's a good idea to have some to have a focus on. But like, oh, the share menu. This is actually a big one. The share menu. You know, when you share something on a Pixel phone, it takes like an hour to populate the entire share menu. It's faster now. So that's fun. We like faster share menus. There is a new dynamic depth format for photos. So you can adjust all the bokehs and blurs and things like that. There's new support for audio and video codecs. And I mean, that's kind of like all they listed. Now, like we dove in and just looked for like little changes. And there's little changes. And the first one I can't stand. And they changed swiping notifications. I think someone actually just mentioned this in the chat. So if you get a notification, if you try to swipe it right to left, it won't. You can't swipe them that way. That brings out like the little behind menu for snoozing or blocking notifications. In order to get rid of a notification, you have to swipe it left to right. I'm just not a left to right swiper. I don't do that. So that actually pisses me off. But there's like little things on the like always on display. The battery moved and it'll show you whatever current song is playing on your phone now. I mean, these are not like game-changing features. You can join Wi-Fi networks now with a QR code. Like instead of just telling someone a password, which is fine because sometimes passwords are crazy, you can do that. There is going to be a full dark or night mode at some point, but it's super broken and janky. And the only way to enable it is to have it enabled sort of before you go to Q or use an ADB command or turn on battery saver, which you would not want to leave on all the time because it would like limit a bunch of stuff on your phone. The file manager looks different now. There's some different controls over notifications. Like if you get a notification now and it dings you, the little bell, there's a little bell icon that shows you which one just dinged you. There's a desktop mode behind the scenes that looks as bare bones as you probably guessed and probably will not be ready for about 6 years. I mean, how long did it take Google to implement multi-window?
Years.
Like 6 years or something. So I wouldn't look forward to the desktop mode just yet. There is native screen recording, but it looks like it's in pre-alpha. It does kind of work, but that's kind of there.
Why does it take Google years to do something that Samsung's been doing forever?
I don't know. I mean, there's like a bunch of stuff, right? Like that they're working on. It seems like always that everyone else has had for a really long time. I get it. Like they make the base version of Android, and so they can't just like push everything out immediately. It's got to work for everyone and that sort of thing. It probably takes a little bit longer for them to adopt, but like this is their operating system. They can't seem to do anything.
Yeah, I was just checking. I just got a new direct deposit from Samsung. I quickly wanted to say I think Samsung is like the best Android OEM out there on the market right now. They're doing things that are way beyond what Google's been doing. It's ridiculous.
What is going on?
Google's basically playing catch up. Not catch up, but catch up. And it's just ridiculous. Samsung is so far ahead of the game.
I still like Google's version of Android better. I'm not going to go that far. They haven't. I just checked the bank account. Oh, okay. I did not get that deposit. I still like Google's version of Android better. I'm just currently a fan of the S10e. Sure. But this version of Android, this Q, this is the first beta. So I don't want to be too critical. Like they could change a whole bunch of stuff in the near future, right? But this first one, there's not a lot to get super excited about. Like they changed like the way app info pages look, like in a good way, but that's not really something like you get super excited about. There's some theming options that are buried in developer tools. Like you could change an accent color, and like OnePlus has been doing that for about 16 phones. So I want to be excited. I want to like dive in and write up posts and show off Android Q, and there's like nothing to show. Like even the navigation where we're expecting like a swipe on the pill button to go backwards rather than typing on a back button.
Yeah, that's
not there. Like the guys at XDA have like a process in order to like kind of enable that, but that's like some crazy workaround stuff. So I just wanted to work. So I know it's first beta.
Yeah, man, relax.
But I just need something cool. And what sucks is because they have all this stuff in the background and it's all just like half baked, then like when beta 3 gets here at IO, they're going to go, we did night mode, and we're going to go, we know. Like, and then it's not going to be exciting. Like, we've been testing like your broken version. So that's kind of all I got. I don't know what else to say about Android Q.
Oh, yeah. I mean, unfortunately, there's not much to say.
So. I mean, I want to hype it and tell you guys. I mean, I'm not going to tell you not to flash this thing. Again, I've had it up and running. The camera seems fine. I don't know battery life because I haven't been able to test that part of it. I haven't had any performance issues. I haven't run into a bunch of like forced closes and things not working. Like, things seem to work pretty well. So,
what's it going to be called?
No one has any idea.
No one has a clue.
9.1.
Android queso dip.
I think they should call it something like queso.
I'd be cool with
It'd
queso.
Be kind of fun. I know it's not a sweet treat,
Dessert.
but whatever. You got to mix it up at some point, right?
Queso.
Maybe it'll just be Q. They won't call it anything else.
Q's cool too. Just Q. Just Q.
So, anyways, look for the next beta here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, as Brandon in the chat says, how about quiche? Like, there's definitely sweet and savory quiches, but quiche sucks. Like, that's a bad name.
It's not a great name.
Android
but they could build
quiche.
a decent statue out of that. I think we should maybe we should go to change.org and get queso going right now.
Okay.
Just get
Whitehouse.gov.
Yeah, whitehouse.gov and get queso going. Get them signatures. Got to start. You got to start early.
Quaker oatmeal cookies. Okay.
Little long.
Little long. Quail pie. No.
What the?
I don't know. Is that like an English thing? I don't know. Queen's pudding. Okay. Anyway, not many possibilities. As you can see, there's not a lot of great options to choose from. So I think queso is what we're sticking with.
I think we're just going with queso.
Yeah.
One thing I'll point out is if you look at the timeline for the rollout of this, it says beta 1 is the initial release, which is just great. And the beta 2 is an incremental update. And then 3 is an incremental update. And then 4 is final APIs. And then we got release candidates that are, ready for final testing. So incremental update does not sound like big things. The thing I would point out, though, with Google is they don't usually announce anything about whatever's new with their version. Like, it takes us and all the other Android blogs to like dig in and find every little tiny tweak that's out there. And it's kind of tedious work. And sometimes it's fun. This time it wasn't really that fun. But so they might say incremental update, but we could get like that new gesture, which we think is a big thing. Or they could finally put like dark mode or whatever, right? They'll say incremental, but we might get some more stuff. I don't know what else we're going to get, dude. It's Samsung all year, every day, apparently.
That's my life right now.
If you are interested, though, the Android beta program site is live. You just go in there, sign in with your little Google account. Your phone should show up if it's eligible. You click on it, and you'll have an update sent to your phone in about 2 seconds. They have not announced additional phones, like, not that the Essential phone would get it. I mean, it might, but last year at I/O, when the beta program opened up, they had a bunch of partners, like Xiaomi was in there, and OnePlus, and I think Sony, and was anybody else? Was it just like an Asus phone or something? I can't remember all the partners. But so they haven't announced those yet. I don't know if those are coming later at I/O as well, but if you have another Android phone, there's a good chance that you may get some Android Q beta action.
Dang.
Yeah, very exciting stuff. All right, well, now that everyone's asleep, shall we move out of Android Q?
Yeah.
Android Queen. They could just call it Android Queen.
Yeah, that's cool, I guess.
Yeah, I bet. Let's see. There's trouble in with the Google hardware team.
Trouble brewing?
Have you heard this? I actually did not read this. I'm totally going to leave this to you. All I know is that Google's apparently pulling engineers from their tablet and laptop hardware teams. Something like that.
Well, that's the tip that Business Insider recently received this week. So according to them, everyone from hardware engineers all the way to program managers for the laptop and tablet hardware teams have been pulled and reassigned to different teams, such as the Pixel team or the Nest team working on their smart home goodies. So basically, what people are speculating, which I don't think it takes a lot of speculation to figure out, is that Android tablets suck, and Android laptops suck.
Hey, these are Chrome, okay? They're Chrome, okay?
Sure. So Chrome OS tablet laptop hybrids suck, and but yes, and I stand by that. Android tablets do suck. They've been dead for a little bit now. Yeah. So, because we know the Pixel Slate was released and then it didn't go over so well. You've got those Pixel books, which were just always so expensive. I don't know if they could really be adopted by a lot of people. But they seem like great devices, great machines. I know you love yours.
Love the Pixel book. Great machine.
He loves it. So we know that Chrome OS is doing fine. Google has a ton of partners with Chromebooks, HP, Asus, Acer, the list goes on and on and on. So Chrome OS seems to be doing just fine. However, Google looks like it's kind of refocusing its efforts and saying, you know what, maybe we won't do our own laptop and / tablet hardware because we can't seem to get it right ever. And we'll just stick to phones and smart home stuff and let the third parties deal with the laptops.
The stuff that actually sells, yeah. Not a bad idea to push the stuff that actually sells.
Well, it's a bummer, right? I mean,
it is actually kind of a bummer.
I don't know how they. Yeah, I don't know how they failed with the Pixel Slate so hard. I never touched. I've never even seen a Pixel Slate with my own eyes. Well, maybe I did at Best Buy, but I don't know what made it so bad. I mean, I thought it looked cool. Like, could it run Android apps and all that? Like, was it a tablet but with Chrome OS? Like, I'm so confused.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious that Google's software just wasn't really ready at all. Chrome OS, like as a tablet thing, is just not evolved quite that well. And Google, I mean, they put it out, it was like buggy and slow. Like if you look at some of the reviews early on, especially the video ones, they'll show you that there was this gesture where you could swipe to like go into like a multi-window view or something. And every time you did it, it just went it like stuttered. It was one of the worst animations I've ever seen, and I can't believe that Google would release a product that had that bad of a stutter, and just on one of those things. So yeah, the Pixel Slate, I wouldn't doubt it if it's just discontinued in like 2 months. I'm not even kidding. Like they released it and they haven't talked about it at all since they released it. I don't know that it's gotten updates to get better because I don't see anyone talking about it. I don't have one anymore. Like I sent that thing back so long ago. It's super expensive. It seems like, I mean, they haven't even run deals to try to get people to buy it. You know what I mean?
No.
I feel like it's just a dead experiment or whatever. Like the keyboards they released with it were terrible. It was a bad product that was super expensive. The Pixelbook thing though, that's sad. Like if they actually don't make a new Pixelbook, that makes me a little sad. The Pixelbook is actually a really good device. It was expensive, yeah, but it was actually a good device for those who wanted to just ball out on a Chromebook. It was good, but yeah, I don't know how many people bought Pixelbooks, like you said, because they're so expensive. Probably out of reach for a lot of people, and at that money, you can get a Windows machine or whatever you want. But yeah, kind of sad. I thought the Pixelbook was great, deserved a follow up. The Pixel Slate can go in a dumpster. I don't really care. It was garbage. So
tell us how you really feel.
Kind of sad, but look, Google needs to figure out how to sell more Pixel phones, because they need to find a carrier partner that's not just Verizon, I think, and maybe spread out a little bit.
So well, they need to figure out. Yeah, they need to figure out how to compete with Samsung. So,
and OnePlus apparently at this point.
Yeah, not LG though. When you don't compete against LG.
LG still hasn't released a phone this year. I don't really know what they're doing.
They're competing against themselves.
I mean, you remember like LG just a few weeks ago said, hey guys, we are going to announce the G8, and we got this V50 phone that's really just a V40 with 5G. Like that's all. That's like the only difference, right? Well, it has an 855 or something in it, right? Doesn't have so that it can have 5G, right? Yep. And we went, okay, and you spent some time with the G8, and you're like, yeah, it's not bad. There's some cool things going on, like the screen vibrates sound or whatever it does. And I mean, that was like, it hasn't quite been a month.
It's like a month ago. Let's just say it was a month ago.
We're not quite there, but we're closing in on a month. And like Samsung's phones have been out for a full week now. Even we've reviewed their phones already, and LG still. I have no idea when the G8's coming. We have no idea. They didn't announce it. None of their carrier partners said a word. I mean, it wasn't like that phone was a brand new start from scratch kind of thing. It's very much a mix of G7 and V40. and it has the same notch and all. So I don't. What are they waiting for? Maybe they're just trying to do it outside of Samsung's hype period. But what the hell? What are they doing? Are they even going to release the G8? Should we take bets on if they're going to actually release the G8?
Sure. I'd take that bet.
I'm sure they will.
That's free money.
Yeah, I'm sure that. It's very odd though. Anyways.
Oh, it's extremely odd.
Yeah.
Well, it's just sad is what it is. They were so close. They were just they were always like kind of right there, a little behind, but now they're just so hard playing catch up. It's really unfortunate.
It is.
I think I've got a no, that's a OnePlus.
I don't think
I got a lot of them.
I don't know that there's an LG phone in this house. I
definitely have a V40.
I think all the ones I had, I used as trade-in money for other phones.
Makes sense.
That's pretty much what I did with all those.
Yeah, as Mr. White in the chat says, G3 was the best. I agree. So the G2 was like legit, and the G3 was also legit. G3, I'm pretty sure, in the US, first quad HD
I think so, yeah.
display. So I know we were all kind of blown away by that. Like, I remember putting the phone to my face and being like, I can't see the pixels. And it was a pretty cool experience. And now, of course, everyone's on that QHD. So yeah. LG was kind of leading the way. They used to have the replaceable batteries with the faux leather back and all that, and the Doge leather, and it was just like cool stuff. But now they're very far gone away.
I just don't know what they're doing. I wish they would figure it out, because we are at this point where there's no one left. Like, there's no phones left to really consider, like to seriously consider. You got Samsung, right? You can always consider their stuff, right? So last year was the S9 and Note 9. This year the S10 line's great. I'm sure the Note 10 will be great, and there's a foldable phone coming from them too. We're big fans of Pixel phones, so I'm sure the Pixel 4 will be fine, right? It'll probably be solid. That'll be an option. And then OnePlus's phones, people really like them these days, so the OnePlus 7 will probably be a phone to buy. After that, in terms of Android, like, you kind of go, well, what are you doing, LG? And then, like, you could look at Nokia, and they've released some decent stuff, but they kind of hover in the mid-range-ish, like, playing field, right? So I don't know if they're one. Huawei doesn't exist in the US anymore. So
same with HTC.
Yeah, and Motorola kind of does stuff, but I mean, these Z phones have been a bust from day one. Their Moto G line, like, that's a budget line, so it's not really what we're talking about. HTC definitely doesn't exist anymore. They make hubs for Sprint or something now. So we're kind of down to 3 manufacturers that anyone considers anymore: Samsung, Google, and OnePlus. Like, that's it. Those are the 3, at least on our site. When we talk about those 3 all the time, because that's what our readers seem to care about. We do an LG review, like, there's not a lot of buzz around it, right? Like, so it's kind of sad. I wish there was more players. I liked it when there were more players.
It's interesting to see the history of LG and Motorola, both of these guys, companies. It sort of seems whoever went into modules and changed up sort of what they were kind of trying to do with the mobile experience basically got screwed. LG had it the worst because their implementation of modules was truly terrible. Having to
ejected. Oh,
it was really bad. It was really bad. So Motorola obviously did better. You get some pins, you just attach it, it makes sense. But LG screwed themselves. Thankfully, they realized that and were like, okay, we're only going to do this for 1 year. We're going to kill it and just kind of get back to what we were doing before. But
LG's
bad,
injectable.
Man.
LG's
bad
injectable
bets.
Mods.
That was a stupid idea.
Imagine somebody actually signed off on that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
someone who got paid way too much money.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully not anymore. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
A couple of people mentioned Sony. Sony seems to be making some cool phones this year. But in the U.S., Sony's not taking all that seriously. They're not typically on carriers. You have to buy them on lock. Their phones oftentimes are overpriced. So yeah, they're not taking that seriously. Although I do have an Xperia 10, I think, on the way. Should be here in a couple days, I think. So I'm gonna give that some run. I haven't played with a Sony phone in a while. Like last year, you did the Z2, I think. The Z2.
Z2.
So I'll have the Xperia 10 this year. I don't care that much about the 1, just if I'm being honest, the Xperia 1, because it's like $7,000 or something stupid like that, I think. It's not that much. I think it's like at least $1,000 though, and we'll have to see how the Xperia 10 goes because I don't really trust Sony quite yet.
Yeah.
Shout out Bertzer, who doesn't seem to be here today. Okay. Anyways, we went from Google hardware, laptops to all the phone manufacturers that are garbage.
And depress us. Nice.
It's kind of depressing. Let's move out of there, though. So Google is hyping something new that relates to gaming. So they're going to be at GDC, which I'm assuming is the Game Developer Conference. And they put out a teaser. Does the teaser make any sense to you? Because what did they say? They said, our vision for the future of gaming. We're so excited to show it to you or something.
Yeah. Well, does it make sense? No.
Well, is it like hinting to, like, did you take anything from it other than it's like a zooming down tunnels in video games into a light? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think, I mean, it's definitely some different, like, you know, whatever the hell you want to call that, some type of experiences. I think we saw like a rock concert and some type of fantastical space universe. And I don't know. I just felt like it was going to be like, if I just had to take a guess as to what this is, I'm assuming it's just a cloud console, but like a console maybe that's attached to the cloud, like a game thing. But I don't know. I mean, I assume this is about cloud gaming. Like,
has to be, right? It's Google. I can't imagine they're really going to release a physical box, are they?
It's possible.
I guess it's possible because if they do like Project
controllers and stuff.
Yeah, because if Project Stream, that thing that they did which was play AAA title or whatever in Chrome, which is fine. Like, you don't have Chrome on your TV, so you wouldn't be able to utilize whatever game streaming thing they're possibly doing. So I guess maybe, yeah, there's a box. And like you said, if there's controllers involved, or is it just going to be a game thing for people on PC?
Yeah, I don't know.
To use in a browser. Like, maybe that's all that is. And then it's just keyboard, mouse, or maybe controller hookup. I'm not really sure.
Brandon Fisher makes a good point. It's a Nexus Q, but I'm going to throw in that it's a Chrome OS powered Nexus Q that, you know, connects to a cloud gaming server, and there's your console. They've already got the infrastructure, the cloud infrastructure to stream games. So with Project Stream, so that's my guess.
You know how dope that would be, though, if the Nexus
they brought
Q
the Q
became
back?
like a game. It's like the perfect thing for gaming. It looked all weird. It had the little eyeball light thing on it. And it spun and stuff. Oh yeah, we should totally bring that back as the design for the next gaming console.
Nexus Q with Android Q. Love it.
Oh, perfect.
Good
we're
timing.
Just connecting all the dots here.
Yeah,
I think we figured it out.
We're wizards.
I think that's a Droid Life Show episode 198 exclusive that the Nexus Q is returning. Will run Q and do game things.
Love it.
So GDC is March 19th, 10 a.m. is when they're 10 a.m. Pacific is when they're gonna unveil whatever they're gonna unveil. And they seem pretty excited. Like Rick Osterloh, who's the head of the hardware division, was like doing the Rick Osterloh dance on Twitter, I think, about it.
Yeah. Why else would he do it if it wasn't hardware related?
He's
that dude's hardware.
He's the hardware guy, yeah.
That's next Tuesday.
Oh,
Jesus.
Can't wait. In other exciting news, Google's Allo is dead.
Wah, wah.
I think it's fully dead too. I think if you try to open Allo, I'm going to try to open Allo for the first time ever. Let's see what it says. Oh, Allo is signing off. Learn how to export your chats and more. So Google Allo, that chat app that Google made a couple of years ago, 2016,
something like that.
2.5, 3 years. It's almost 3 years since they announced it first, right? Because they did it at Google I/O. Yeah, it's dead. No one used it. It was missing a bunch of features from day one. It never got them. It was impossible to use on more than one device. Like, it just had some problems. Had some cool stuff. Like, it was the first thing that had Google Assistant like baked in, right? Like, it did some stuff that it has like a GIF engine and stuff like that.
Half-baked crap.
Yeah, but they didn't know how to get people onto it, which seems weird. I always get confused by how Google can't figure some of this stuff out. They're supposed to be like the smartest people in the world working at Google, and they create this app and they can't figure out how to get people to use it. And
smartest people employer rank 1 to 3. This is true fact. Samsung, Apple, Google. Is it
really?
Fact. No.
Is that really? I was like, oh.
No.
Learn something every day. Either way, Allo is dead. If you were using it, you probably already knew that by now. If you weren't using it and you were like waiting to jump on board when everyone else did, that's never going to happen. So just move on. Move on.
Damn.
Yeah. Depressing. It's actually not depressing because I don't think we ever used it. We had some people that, oh, look at Clinton says, I still use it. Wait. Still, though, it's dead, right?
How do you still use it?
What have you moved on? What have you moved on to, Clinton? Because it's dead. I just went to the website. It says it's dead.
Maybe the app.
Steve says they killed Hangouts for this. Hangouts still cooking. Got it open over there right now.
I use Hangouts every day. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. Just needs a little spice here and there. Oh, Clinton's on Hangouts. Yeah. That's the thing. I bet everyone on Allo probably just went back to Hangouts.
Yeah. Nick says he moved to Telegram.
I've seen a lot of people suggest Telegram. I've just never used it.
It's like a very not US thing, I feel like. I don't know anyone who uses Telegram here. I know a couple of people use
Nick.
WhatsApp. Well, Nick, I mean.
There's one guy.
Yeah, one
Telegram
guy.
X. I don't know what that is.
Specifically,
I'll have to look into that, Nick. Messaging
Yeah.
is one of those things that I know very little about just because I've been on Hangouts forever. I know it's probably like our jobs to know what all these messaging apps are, but messaging is such a pain. And when you get locked into your zone that works for you and your friends and family, it's hard to like branch out because you don't have anyone to talk to. If that makes sense. It's very hard. Patrick went to Messages. Messages, it seems like a great app, but it's text messaging. And Tim and I have talked about this at length, but we moved all of our friends and family years ago to Hangouts, so we just do Hangouts for everything. So
takes a lot of effort.
And then every once in a while I have people that send me text messages, but I use Google Voice, so I use the Google Voice app for that. So I know we're weird. All right. Other news, Verizon announced its first 5G cities today. Tim just pulled out a knife. The first 5G cities are Chicago and Minneapolis, and they are going live on April 11th in select areas of those cities. I do not know those cities well, but in Chicago, it's the Loop, Magnificent Mile, Gold Coast, River North, and Old Town. And in Minneapolis, it's downtown West and East, and Elliott Park is where it'll launch first.
Twin Cities.
Well, just Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Not St. Paul.
Twin Cities.
No, St. Paul is like part of that. That's why the twin thing, there's like two.
Well, yeah, no. I'm not talking about any. Sorry.
You're just shouting out Twin Cities just because.
Well, yeah, shout out to Twin Cities.
Perfect. All right. So we got 5G in those two on April 11th. And the first thing that we'll have to access those is that 5G Moto mod that was teased like 7 or 8 months ago from Motorola that works on the Moto Z3. You can
Don't do it.
Yeah, you can pre-order it now for $50. If you don't pre-order it and you buy it later on down the road, it's going to cost $350, which the phone costs $350. Like the Moto Z3, if you just go buy it outright, I'm pretty sure it's $350. So if you really care and you want this mod, you should probably try to get it now for $50 because no one should pay $350 for a chunk of black metal that's not an actual phone. It's just a brick that connects to 5G.
Don't do it.
Yeah, I tried to just go on and just buy one for $50, and Verizon does not make it simple to do that. They want you to also buy a phone. Even if you had one, it was really confusing to try to get it separate. Not only that, it requires a $10 per month 5G access fee. So Verizon, at least out of the gate, is going to let you have your plan, your unlimited plan, and then they're going to charge you a $10 a month fee to get 5G. So if you have this 5G Moto mod, you'll pay an extra $10 to access their 5G network. So not a separate 5G plan, just like an add-on. They're going to waive the first 3 months if you live in Chicago or Minneapolis and get in there early, but it's after that it'll be $10 a month, basically just to own that Moto mod, it seems like. And then we'll have Samsung's Galaxy S10 5G later on, and that's pretty much it. They also said we're still hoping to launch, like 30 cities throughout the year or something. These are the first two. Chicago, Minneapolis, April 11th. $10 a month extra.
Don't do it.
Yeah, I don't think anyone should. I mean, like if I lived in Chicago, I'd probably, because that's what I do, right? Like I would get this Moto mod brick thing, and I'd get on the 5Gs, and I'd just try to share my connection with everyone just to see how fast we could do. But this is some like really early adopter stuff that most people should not. I mean, the Moto Z3 is a fine phone, and it's not that expensive or anything, but That's a tough sell.
Don't do it.
Yeah, Tim says no.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, like I said, only obviously if you live in a city elsewhere that's not Chicago or Minneapolis, you should not do it. The only reason I thought about it is because I was like, oh, if this thing's $50, I'll tuck it in a drawer. Maybe one day if Portland gets 5G, which the city of Portland is actually fighting 5G, so we'll probably never get it here. I was like, maybe I'll pull it out then and just fire it up, but no, they wouldn't let me just do that. Okay, and really fun news. The Red Hydrogen 1 phone has re-emerged from the depths of whatever drawer it's been living in, or Tim's desk. And it's back in the headlines because, well, I don't know what the hell Red is doing. So some folks at Reddit noticed that they had pulled all of the images and mentions of the like mods that were supposed to be created for this phone.
Yeah.
And so everyone went, yeah, that is kind of weird. We haven't heard anything on these mods, and they are gone from the site. What's the deal? And so Red's Jim Gennard took to the h4v.net forums.
h4v-user.net.
Oh, yeah.
Come on now.
That's right. He took to the forums where all these Hydrogen 1 folks hang out, and he said what is possibly the most confusing statement in history. He talked about how they took down the modular images. Cool. And he says, we're in the middle of radically changing the Hydrogen program. As I've said before, everything can and will change. Like, this guy's just way too serious for his own good. Like, this is not a cool statement, Jim. A series of obstacles and new discoveries have given us the opportunity to significantly improve the entire program. Not only for Hydrogen, but also for Red. Okay, whatever that means. The changes create new opportunities to better satisfy the professional image capture customers as well as the casual consumer. Okay. They're going to put someone else in charge of it. There's going to be a professional image capture program for Hydrogen, which some people have taken to think that that means there's a new Hydrogen 1 phone coming out with a professional image capture system in it, but he called it a professional image capture program for Hydrogen. Like, that could still be a mod, I guess. I'm not totally sure. We're excited to share details soon. Side note, all Hydrogen customers will be obsolete. Like,
oh, dude,
this dude thinks he's so cool. I know he's like the Oakley guy or whatever, but he followed that up because everyone was like, what did you just say? Like, what? And he just said, like, oh, I don't know. We'll share more later. You'll be good. You'll be taken care of, Hydrogen folks. So you paid $1,400 or something for your Hydrogen 1 phone, and Red has already admitted that it's garbage, is creating a new one with an actual professional camera, may not be doing mods at this point, we're assuming. And yeah, you got duped if you actually bought one of these things.
Yeah. Typically I would never say this, but anyone who bought the Red Hydrogen 1, I mean, that's on you, dude. You deserve to get your money stolen because because not a single professional, and I've used the word professional so loosely in this, but people said, don't buy this phone. It's not ready. It came late and it wasn't even ready when it did arrive. The H4V display technology was disturbingly bad. The cameras were piss poor. There was just not like one redeeming feature of this phone. It came with outdated internals already. So I don't know. You know what? I hate to say, like, you got suckered. But
100%.
Like, no one told you to buy this phone. No one was out there. Oh yeah, unless you were on those h4v-user.net forums.
Those people love it. They're like, this is great. This is great news, Tim, because that just means they're just going to make everything better. And it's like, no, you just spent $1,300 on this bad phone. Do not be praising Red for this. You guys got suckered.
Yeah. So it wasn't a great purchase by anyone. Of course, you can be a total Red fanboy. Like, be my guest. I like people who are passionate about the brands they like. However, you gotta recognize when a product just is not good. And so I don't necessarily feel bad for you. Because maybe you don't deserve it, but there were many tellings that this was not going to be a great device to purchase. So that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah.
Here, press. Take a picture of the back of this phone, but you can't post the front all the way like into the review period. Great.
Don't post any camera samples.
Yeah. Jannard
Don't even
up.
talk about the display.
Yeah, don't even talk about
Holy jeez. Sorry.
Jannard followed up with, while I understand the post is a bit cryptic. You think? You didn't say anything. It was a bunch of...
Did that on purpose.
Unreal. Anyway, hopefully this is the last time we ever have to talk about Red's phone making capabilities. I'm sure they make great cameras. Their phone was garbage out of the gate, and we pretty much told you that. So.
Yeah, what sucks is like back when they first announced it and all that, like I'm one of those guys who says, oh, like Marquez Brownlee uses Red cameras. They must be truly amazing. So I'm like, okay, the phone's got to be insane then. It's going to be a $1,500 like boutique ultra premium phone experience. Like I want this thing. Then as soon as I got it in hand, I realized that this phone sucked. And the problem is that some people, not name dropping, but some of the people who hyped this phone initially did not really come out and say hardcore enoughly, that's a word, that this phone sucked. And so they almost kind of like, they pushed people into thinking that, okay, yeah, this is like going to be a cool phone, etc. Like they should have been out there. They should have been on the front line saying this phone sucked. So.
True story.
Anyway.
The Red Hydrogen 1 program. Jannard said it is not a dead program. They're changing things. They got patents to file and stuff.
They're just changing it up. That's cool. Yeah.
Anyways, in actual good news though, Spotify Premium now includes Hulu. The cheap Hulu paid that includes some ads. So $9.99 a month, Spotify Premium, and then you just get Hulu as a part of that, which is pretty good. If you combine those two or you pay for them separately, you're at like $16 a month. So you're saving like $6 a month here, Spotify Premium. So yeah, if you're like buying Hulu right now by itself and not Spotify, like just pay a couple bucks more and you get both. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just got
it's not a bad deal.
Yeah. Pretty good deal.
I'm getting ready, man. I'm anticipating.
It's a limited time run though. So if you do want to sign up for that, you should do it now. So yeah. All right. Any other topics you want to dive into?
Only one other topic I want to get into.
Oh.
Oomps.
I just tried to trivia dance and hit this like light that's over here by me. Oh, it's trivia time. It is trivia time. Yeah, topics are done for the day, everyone. We're on to trivia now. So trivia time. Well, if you're again new to the show, at the end of every show we do trivia and we do 5 questions. We post them on the screen. Tim will read them out. And if you're watching live on YouTube, you're in the YouTube chat, you just answer. You just tappity tap away. The answer as fast as you can. If you're the first to answer correctly, you win. That's just how it works. Tim and I just wait for you to type. And then if we see your name first, you win.
You win.
It's pretty much that simple. And yeah, we're giving away these guys. OnePlus Bullets Wireless. Little guys. We got 5 of them. So everyone that wins today gets one of these.
Nice.
Bullets Wireless. Little dog collar action. Little dog collar headphone action. Just rest right back there. Take the stress off the ears.
Yeah.
I got fatigue up here right now. I should be using some dog collar.
Oh, you're hurting?
No, not really. I'm trying to sell the price.
Yeah.
Just trying to sell it.
It's a solid price. No need to sell. That's a legit price.
Yeah, they're nice. They are nice. At this time, if you want to, like drop your resolution down, get that extra quick connection to us. I saw Eric Ortiz in the chat. I don't see his van outside yet, though.
He's pulling up.
I don't see you out there yet, Eric. If you're still here, it's been a while since you parked outside to get that super crispy connection. But pull up. So, yeah, are we ready?
We are ready as long as you're ready.
Whew, I think I'm ready. He's at Tim's. Eric's outside your house.
Not possible. The dogs would be barking.
That's true. They probably would be. Okay, well, are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready for question number 1, please.
Question number 1's going up now.
What is the pixel density, or PPI, for the Galaxy S10 Plus? Again, these are toughies.
This is specific.
You may have to Google this.
Oh.
What is the pixel density, or PPI, pixels per inch, for the Galaxy S10 Plus?
I don't know if I've seen it.
I'm looking.
I don't think I've seen the right answer anywhere. I mean, these are some close ones, so I'm just hoping you had it
super
right.
close. I know I got it right. I calculated it.
Oh. Rocky? Wait.
Rocky?
Rocky
L. Brody?
Rocky L. Brody.
Rocky L. Brody with the correct answer of 522.
522 pixels per inch. Rocky L. Brody with the dub.
Brody, what up, doe?
Nice.
Congratulations
Rocky. On that. If you're new to the trivia situation and you do win, hang around till the end. We'll give you a way to contact us so we can get your address figured out and get your prize to you. Rocky L. Brody with the win. Question number 1 done.
Excellent. Yeah, a lot of people came in with that right. It was a close race.
It was close. It was like the Google was working there. The Google machine was working there.
Yeah. Let's go with question number 2, please.
All right, question number 2 is up now.
How many phones are currently eligible for the Android Q beta? Again, how many phones are currently eligible for the Android Q beta? I'm seeing Luke Citroniti.
Yep, got it.
Yeah, Luke Citroniti with the quickness, with the correct answer of 6.
6 is correct.
Of course, Pixel XL, Pixel 2, Pixel 2 XL, Pixel 3, Pixel 3 XL.
That's the 6.
Congratulations, Luke Citroniti.
Awesome.
A lot of you may have just noticed your comments were held for moderation. Don't worry, we still see them. You still count. YouTube doesn't know what to do with so many like one character comments at a time.
Yeah, we still see all those. In case you guys are thinking you got screwed because your got held for review, we can see all those. Don't worry, you are in order.
Yep. Don't worry. We got you.
Ron in the chat. Has Ron been here the whole time? Ron just shows up to win free stuff. I think he's just here to
win prizes, man.
Shout out, Ron.
Shout out, Ronald. Pixel Ultra, I'm pretty sure is not an eligible device.
This is true, Ron. We did forget Pixel Ultra.
Yeah.
Oh, he said he just got here. He did just show up for the prizes. That's fine, Ron. It's fine.
That's cool. We still love you.
Yeah, you still have a chance to win, I guess.
Yeah, well, maybe he will with question number 3, please.
All right, question number 3 is up right now.
Oh, this is a sad one. In which year did Google's Allo app launch? R.I.P. In which year did Google's Allo app launch? Corbin Baxter. Corbin, congratulations. You have the correct answer of 2016.
2016, that's correct, Corbin. There was a whole bunch of 2016s after that. Just so you know, Corbin was first on our screen.
Yep. We see it all.
And that's the screen we go with.
Corbin, congratulations.
Congrats, Corbin.
All right, well, we got two more questions to go. Let's hit it up with question number 4, please.
2 more chances. All right, question number 4 is up now.
Which OEM manufactured the original Nexus 7 tablet? Again, which OEM manufactured the original Nexus 7 tablet? Burtser
is here. I think they made both, actually, didn't they?
Yes, they did. I wanted to be specific, the original. Like the 2012 or whatever that was.
Burtser with the correct answer of Asus.
Burtser.
That was close. It was Burtser, then Nick, then Pasnell's right away with the Asus. But Burtser with the dub there. Asus,
nice.
Yep. Yeah, they made both. First one was kind of a bust. The second one was a good tablet.
Yeah. As Dar Ren in the chat saying there's a major delay. I don't know. Maybe bring down that quality and refresh real quick. I'll give everyone a moment to refresh if they want. I mean, we want to make sure everyone's got a nice
final question.
Chance. Gabriel, fiber has failed me. If you got fiber and aren't winning prizes, there's something wrong with your connection, man.
Yeah, there is. I don't know that there's a science to all of this. Like,
nah.
We're just streaming live, and we tell people, like, kind of as a joke to drop their resolution down or whatever. I mean, this is the internet, so you're pinging here, you're pinging there, you're routed here, there. I don't know. Fastest connection you can get, always probably the best. Okay.
All right. Well, if everyone's refreshed and down to 144, let's audio only, whatever you do. Let's go with the last question, please.
Okay. Question number 5 is it's up right now.
What processor powers the greatest phone ever, the Red Hydrogen 1? Again, what processor powers the Red Hydrogen 1?
Oh, Zach with the quickness.
Zachary Webb. Congratulations. Correct answer, Snapdragon 835.
How do you just know that quickly?
I don't know.
That was
He must be an owner.
Zach, Dave, Nick, all there with the 835, but Zach was first with 835, just in case you guys are wondering. Whoops. And then it just blew up. Everyone knew 835. I mean, we had some 845s in there too, but
congratulations, Zachary. Well, not just to you, Zachary, but to Rocky L. Brody, to Luke Citroniti, to Corbin Baxter, to Bertzer, and again to Zachary Webb. Congratulations, all of you. You're getting some sweet.
Yes. All right.
Wireless buds.
I'm going to drop my email in the chat right now for those
nice.
winners. Yeah, you don't have to do it this week. Drop in the email in the chat. Grab that email. Shoot me an email right now if you were one of those 5 winners. And I'll work on getting these bad boys shipped out to you quite quickly. I want them off my desk. It looks ugly back there. So please email me right away if you can. And we will work that out. Fantastic.
Good show, guys. Good show.
Little Bullets Wireless. Little Android Q action. Some S10 talk. Good stuff. Good show. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Oh, by the way, appreciate all the donos one last time. PC747 with the 20. Alex, Patrick, Robert, Justin, Frank, Nick, Brian, Allen, Patricia, all with the donos this show. Fantastic. Thank you guys so much. What a good show. Good stuff. And Ron showed up at the last minute to get freebies.
We love you, Ron.
Quality stuff there. Yeah, I got nothing else to talk about. Oh, Corbin just dropped $2 for shipping. Thanks,
not necessary.
Corbin. Not necessary at all.
Samsung's going to be covering your ship this week.
Thank you, Corbin, for that. Clinton, is it time for trivia? Clinton did the I'm just gonna answer 12 to every question thing too, just to try to get lucky. Did not get lucky this time. One of these days, I hope that actually works, but
maybe next week.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, I don't think we'll be back next week.
We won't be back next week.
No.
We will be back the following week, though.
Correct. We'll be back the following week. Lots of stuff coming up. Obviously, I/O on the horizon. Like I said, I'll have a Sony phone next week. LG may release a phone someday. I feel like there's something else coming, like another phone or something, but I actually don't know. Something going on. Something in the air.
OnePlus phone.
Oh, that could be. You never know, right? Well, Google still has to announce it's like Pixel 3 light phones, whatever. We'll see. All right, cool. Well, everybody, thanks for joining us. Episode 198 once again. We're almost to 200. Have a safe weekend. Droid Life. Peace.
Peace.